Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel Vision Class. Today we will see part 2 of teaching aptitude paper first. So let's start. In part 1, we are seen about the meaning of teaching, some definitions, concepts and objective, right? I hope it is useful to all of you. Now, in this part we are seen about the nature and characteristics of teaching and other similar concepts and level of teaching. So let's see one by one. Nature and characteristics of teaching. Teaching is a completely social process. It is also cultural process which is planned to enable an individual to learn something in his life. We can describe it like teaching is undertaken for society and by society, right? With ever changing social ideas, it is not possible to describe the exact and permanent nature of a teaching. So, it is social as well as cultural process, right? Then, second characteristics of teaching is it is information. Teaching is giving information, tell students about things they have to know and students cannot find out themselves. Communication of knowledge is an essential part of a teaching, right? So it is also very information providing process. It is one of the characteristics of a teaching, right? Teaching is a skilled occupation, right? Next characteristics of a teaching is what? It is a skilled occupations. Every successful teacher is expected to know the general method of a teaching learning situation, right? That's why it is a skilled occupations. Next characteristics of teaching is it is an art as well as a science, right? Teaching is an art or a science. It is a little of both. There is an artistry in the way teacher connects with the students and foster their understanding, right? So it is an art. At the same time, there is a science to teaching and learning and evidence based on which to build our approaches to developing students' knowledge, skills and competencies. That's why it is a science. So, one of the major characteristics of teaching is it is a art as well as a science. Now see, teaching must be student-centered, right? It is a main characteristics of in a teaching. What? It is a student-centered. Teaching is an interactive process between the student and the teaching sources. That's why it is a student-centered activity, which is essential for the guidance, progress and development of a students. So teaching is a process of development and learning, right? So teaching is a student-centered. Next is actively engaged. What says these characteristics of teaching? Actively engaged is any learning activity in which the student participates or interacts with the learning process as opposed to a passively taking in the information. When given the opportunity to actively engage with the information they were learning, students perform better. That's why teaching is an actively engaged process, right? Next one is collaborate. These characteristics of teaching says when teacher collaborate, the interest, backgrounds and strength of each teacher can contribute to a project. This type of teamwork contribute to a greater sense of a trust and accountability of a students, and it allows teacher to feel confident about contributing their most dynamic skills improvement. Right? Next one is a process of development. Yeah, right. One of the characteristics of a teaching is process of development. Right? The essence of developmental teaching is choice with the aim to give children greater control over their learning. All classrooms have developmental characteristics, but a developmental classroom is one in which the making of choice by children is a predominant organizational characteristics. It is very important characteristics of teaching is what? Process of development. Right? I hope all of you understand that one. These are the all characteristics of a teaching. So next topic of this part is teaching and other similar concepts. Right? Other similar concepts are also there, but then also teaching is different from that similar concepts. These are we are seeing one by one. To understand the meaning of teaching, it is essential to understand the difference between teaching and other similar concepts. Like teaching is different from conditioning, training, instruction and indoctrination. Here, teaching is different from conditioning, as it aims to develop intellect and has broader scope with the vast curriculum, while on other hand, conditioning is the modification of behavior and learning habits. Right? Conditioning is what? It is a modification of behavior and learning habits. In conditioning, the curriculum is fixed and done by the repetition of the behavior. That's why teaching is different from conditioning. Right? The second similar concept is training. But then also teaching is how different from training, as teaching is mostly theoretical and usually refers to classroom learning, while training is practical oriented and it is referred to workshops, seminars, role plays, simulations, etc. Skill development is a key aspect of a training process. That's why training is similar concept, but then also teaching is different from that. Right? Third one is a teaching and instruction. As instruction is the act of telling the learner what to do or what not to do. Right? Instruction means what? It is the act of telling learner what to do or what not to do. Impart knowledge of a specific subject, while teaching means the development of the potential of an individual. That's why teaching is a different from instruction also. Next one is a teaching and indoctrination. First of all, we see what is indoctrination. Right? Indoctrination is the process of forming certain beliefs. Some ideas are infused in the mind of the learner from the beginning. Right? Indoctrination means what? It is the process of forming certain beliefs. Some ideas are infused in the mind of the learner from the beginning. These ideas are continuously put in the minds of the learners, and thus such ideas become their firm beliefs. Right? So, as indoctrination possesses the belief that there is only one solution to the problem, while teaching points out there are a different solution often to the same problem. Right? This is the main difference between teaching and indoctrinations. I hope all of you understand the similar concept like teaching, but then also teaching is different from that concept. Next topic of this part is level of teaching. There are three levels of teaching: memory level, understanding level and reflective levels. Right? We will see one by one. Memory level is a base level of a teaching. Memory level teaching emphasis on presentation of a fact and information, and it's all about cramming. Knowledge or information is gained by the learner through the memorization. It is the initial stage of teaching and induces the habit of rote learning of a facts and subjects matter. Right? It is provide students with the ability to retain and reproduce the learned subject. It covers only the knowledge-based objective of Bloom taxonomy. At this level, the students learn to identify, recall, or remembers the objects, events, ideas, and retain them in memory. The teacher plays a very dominating and authoritarian role while instructing. The evaluation system mainly includes oral, written, and essay type examination, right? As well as organized and is simple so that it can be acquired through role learning. The role of the teacher is prominent, that is primary, and that the students is secondary, that is secondary and passive. Memory level teaching does not improve intelligence and increase students' capability, but this is required for other type of teaching levels. The Herbartian theory of appreciation supports that young children's mind is ready for perceiving themselves and the world around. Their mind is ready for a great mass of actual information, including concepts, elements, structures, models, and theories. They can acquire and retain information about a large number of things, objects, and material through memorization. This is a key points of a memory level teaching, right? I hope all of you understand memory level teaching. There are some classification of a memory. These are immediate memory. Immediate memory means when a recall is immediately, right? Permanent memory, the recalling of material for a longer time. Personal memory, while recalling the experience, we remember our personal experience, right? Then impersonal memory, recalling from books and companion. Active memory, make effort to recall past experience, recalling answers in exams, right? Passive memory, recall experience without effort, that is passive memory. Mechanical memory or physical memory, body becoming habitual of doing any task repeatedly, that is called mechanical memory or physical memory. Rote memory, cramming facts without understanding. Rote memory means what? Cramming facts without understanding. That is a memorization technique based on repetition. For example, learn alphabets, table learning, like that. To learn alphabets, it is a rotary memory examples, right? Then next one is a logical memory. To learn something by using intellect and its recalling when needed. This is a logical memory, right? These are some points. Due to that, we can classify the memory level of a teaching, right? Memory level of a teaching is nothing but the process of motivations, right? Memory level of teaching is what? It is a process of motivation. I hope all of you understand about the memory level of teaching and their classification. So next level of a teaching is what? Understanding level of a teaching, right? Understanding level of a teaching, it is ULT. Memory level teaching is the prerequisite for the understanding level of a teaching. as it talks about the generalization of principles, theory, and author key important facts. This helps to build the thinking level of a students to make use of their acquired knowledge based on previously known facts and subjects. The teacher explains the students about the relationship between principles and facts, and teacher them know the principle can be applied. It focus on mastery of the subject. It provide more and more opportunity for the students to develop skill of memory plus insight. The evaluation system of this level is mainly objective type of questions and essay. In this level of a teaching, students and teacher plays an active role, right? But in memory level teaching, there are only teacher become active role and students is a passive role, right? Morrison has divided the understanding level of teaching into 5 steps. As per the model of understanding level, teaching was indoctrination by Morrison. It is named as Morrison teaching model. These 5 steps are exploration, presentation, assimilation, organization. Exploration means testing previous knowledge, analyzing the content, right? Presentation means content is presented, diagnosis and recapitulations till the students understand, right? Presentation means what? It is a content is presented, diagnosis and recapitulations till the students understand, right? Assimilations. Next one is what? Assimilations. Assimilation means generalizations, individual activities working in laboratory and library, the test of content, right? Next one is organizations. Pupils are provided with the occasion for representation. Next is recitations. Pupil present the content orally, right? These are some key points of understanding level of a teaching. Next level of teaching is reflective level of teaching, that is RLT, right? Reflective level of teaching divided into Hunt include understanding level of teaching and memory level teaching, problem centered teaching, students primary and teacher secondary, right? Reflection once something means given careful thought to something over some time. Also means thinking deeply about something. It talks about both understanding level and memory level teaching and its problem center. Its main objective to develop problem solving, critical and constructive, independent, original thinking. At this level, the emphasis is laid on identifying the problem, defining it and finding a solution to it. The student's original thinking and creative abilities develop at this level. A student is core active and primary, right? In this level of teaching, a student is core active and primary while teacher becomes secondary and passive. In reflective level of teaching, Hunt includes understanding level teaching and memory level teaching. It is problem centered teaching. The students are assumed to adopt sort of research approach to solve the problem. The classroom environment is sufficient, open and independent. Hunt developed the reflective model of teaching, which goes through the various steps including creating a problematic situations, formulate and verify the hypothesis, data analysis and testing the hypothesis around the problem. Essay type test is used to evaluate the learning process. The teaching at this level is not teacher center or a subject center. It is learner center, right? These are the some key points of a reflective level of a teachings, right? I hope all of you understand all concept of teaching. So keep watching and please like, share, subscribe to my channel to getting such type of knowledgeable videos. Thank you.